There's a reason so many Generation Xers walk into a room and quietly take charge. Not because life was easy, but because no one was coming to save them. They don't announce it. They don't ask for applause. They don't even need to be asked. That quiet authority wasn't given to them. It was forged. Let's pick up where we left off. You survived the unsupervised afternoons, the scraped knees, the forts that collapsed. The bike crashes that taught you pain isn't the end of the world. But the real transformation happened later, when the world stopped being a neighborhood and started being a job, a mortgage, a relationship, a crisis. That's when those childhood lessons turned into something rare. Superpowers disguised as normal. First, you developed an almost unfair tolerance for uncertainty. While others freeze when plans fall apart, you've already started scanning for Plan B and quietly building Plan C in your head. Why? Because very early on, the adults weren't always there to catch you. The schedule changed. The paycheck was late. The marriage ended. And little you still had to eat dinner, do homework, and figure out how to feel okay about it. That built something psychologists call a strong internal locus of control, a deep, unshakable belief that your actions matter, even when everything outside is chaos. Here's what that looks like in real life. A company restructures, panic spreads, people update LinkedIn in real time, whisper about who's next. The Gen Xer in the room, they're already thinking 3 moves ahead, not because they're fearless, but because they learned long ago that the world doesn't stop just because you're scared. When no one is coming to save you, you save yourself. Second superpower, you mastered emotional self-regulation before anyone had a name for it. No one sat you down for a feelings check-in. No one asked, "How does that make you feel?" Over and over again. Instead, you learned, through boredom, through small heartbreaks, through long evenings alone, how to sit with discomfort until it passed. You didn't have an audience for every mood, so you didn't perform your emotions, you processed them. That's why today, when drama erupts, at work, in families, or across the endless online outrage cycle, you tend to stay calm longer than most. Not because you don't care, but because you learned early that feelings are weather, and weather passes. Third, resourcefulness became your default setting. Something breaks, you don't immediately search, replace entire unit. You open it, you poke it, you swear at it, you fix it, or at least make it work until Tuesday. That habit started with cassette tapes wound with pencils, bike chains relinked with greasy fingers, forts engineered from scrap. It's called anti-fragility, not just bouncing back, but getting stronger from stress and disorder. Modern life throws curveballs at everyone. But Gen X tends to catch them, duct tape them together, and keep moving. Because that's what Tuesday afternoons taught you. And here's the fourth, maybe the rarest one. You built a quiet, stubborn sense of self-worth that doesn't depend on likes, comments, or validation. Your identity wasn't built in public. It wasn't curated. It was earned in private, through hundreds of small proofs that you could handle things alone. That's why praise feels nice. But you don't need it to keep going. That's why criticism stings, but it doesn't shatter you. You were trusted before you earned it. Then you earned that trust again and again, just for yourself. So when people ask why Generation X seems different, why they adapt without fanfare, why they lead without shouting, why they endure without breaking, the answer isn't nostalgia. It's engineering. Your childhood was an unintentional masterclass in resilience, self-reliance, and emotional depth. A masterclass the world is, only now realizing it desperately needs again. Because the truth is becoming impossible to ignore. In a time when everything is tracked, optimized, anxiety managed, and performed for an audience, the quiet strength you built, the The kind that doesn't need a spotlight, isn't just rare, it's becoming essential. And that, Generation X, is your hidden legacy. Not loud, not flashy, just unbreakably useful. So the next time someone calls you cynical, or pragmatic, or old school, smile quietly. They have no idea what kind of training you really had. What childhood moment made you stronger than you realized? Drop it in the comments below.